Thank you for taking some time for yourself. And if you can close your eyes, allow your thoughts to run around your mind. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. Perfect. And before you begin to dominate this experience, I wonder if you can become aware of your chest expanding, relaxing, rising, and falling. Perfect. Deep breath in and a relaxing breath out. Perfect. And I'm sure you can appreciate you have time right now for freedom, just to be. Nothing to think, nothing to analyze. And I'm curious if you can feel your arms resting, legs resting, supported by the chair, for you to go deeper into this experience. And I never really know if clients are capable of giving themselves a deep, relaxing experience, little by little, moment by moment, piece by piece. And I don't know the last time you gave yourself permission to leave the world's baloney out there, to spend some quality time here. And I wonder if you can feel the back of your neck resting, arms, legs resting, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. How wonderfully talented our feet are at resting. And I'm sure someone like you can appreciate how different this experience can be for different people. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you a few stories. And at first, you might be thinking, why am I sharing with you these stories? But your subconscious mind will be listening and do something wonderful for you a little later on. But first, I wonder if you could, in a moment, imagine you're preparing to go on a journey, on a hot air balloon ride. And before you take this trip, you need to pack your bags. You have 3 gym bags in front of you now. I want you to send all of your feelings into one bag and zip it up. All your memories and visions into the second bag and zip it up. All of your feelings into the third bag and zip it up. Perfect. And as you walk over to the hot air balloon, you can notice all of the sandbags holding the balloon down. And I want you to get into the hot air balloon with your 3 gym bags now. And what people find interesting about a hot air balloon ride is they never really know. As the sandbags are left behind one by one, what bag will give them liftoff? And I'm not sure you're aware how special you are. No one else has your wisdom, life experience. In fact, if I had a microscope, I could probably see your blood cells, loving life, doing their thing, going around your body, loving you. And no one else has your DNA. And until the very end of time, there'll never be anyone exactly the same as you. That's how special you are. And in the past, you've thought things are never gonna change. They might change, but maybe it just doesn't seem likely. Or something else. But what I do know is anyone in your situation will completely understand. And it's got nothing to do with you. And it reminds me of a client I once had. I get on Zoom, there's this big tough guy, grumpy face, wearing the rock band t-shirt of AC/DC. And his timid wife had set up the appointment. So it wasn't what I was expecting. And his first words to me were, "What the F do you want?" He had huge mood swings. He couldn't concentrate. He said his body felt like there were 40 DVDs playing on him at the same time. He was on and off medication all the time because he said his life had always been that way. Things were never gonna friggin' change. And on the flip side, how can you be certain that you're capable of being perfect? Or that you must hate yourself until you are? And it reminds me of another client. She was a big girl with a few young children. And she reminded me of a friend who could also never lose weight. She had tried everything: the grapefruit diet, the Atkins diet, the only eat meat diet, the low carb diet, the low fat diet, calorie counting diet, the Beverly Hills diet. And sometimes with these women, it reminds me of Kathleen Tessaro's book, Elegance. You and I both know in the season spring that fashion magazines are filled with diets. And it's probably true that the 10 best dressed women on the planet are the 10 hungriest women. And being slender is elegant. But being neurotic about your image is not. After all, God made you who you are. And it reminds me of grumpy employees. You know the kind. Let's call her Megan. And Megan's invited to the holiday party, New Year's party, birthday party. And this year the company work celebration has booked a nice Italian restaurant. And everyone RSVPs except for a few staff members, because life happens. Some people just can't make it this year. But that one grumpy employee, Megan, complains that the party starts late. She doesn't eat Italian food. Megan carries on, makes a scene. But the truth is, Megan has never attended a work event ever. Things will never change. And sometimes so much of what we experience is what we expect to experience. You expect you won't like the new restaurants your friends want you to try, and you don't. You expect you won't like your friend's new boyfriend, and you don't. You expect to not like the new work colleague, and you don't. And those things just don't change. And those doctors that tell people to quit smoking, their patients end up with throat operations because they never change. And eventually a tube is put through their throat so they can breathe. And the patients try and figure out ways to smoke through the tube in their neck. But something tells me you are different, and it's not a guess. You chose to listen to this hypnotherapy track now. You didn't get your wisdom by accident. You had to apply yourself to it. Be patient. You created the possibility of setting some time aside for yourself today. It was consistent. You focused on the greater goal. In fact, you've demonstrated that while your motivation might have come and gone, somehow you pushed your desires aside and you went beyond feeling comfortable. You practiced developing this skill. And if you were to ask that old part of you that things would never change, if you could get it to float up out of your body and have it sit in a chair in front of you now, I wonder what it would look like. I don't know if it would be a field of energy in the chair, a blob, a replica of you or something else. I wonder if you have anything you'd like to say to that old part of you in the chair. Maybe what you don't know is with my weight loss clients, they often discover the reason why they don't eat well is because that old part of them in the chair was focusing on them being a better mother, a better employee, a better partner by grabbing microwave food, takeaway, anything instant. Now, I don't know if that thing in the chair helped you be a better friend, a better lover, mother, father, son, daughter, employee, manager. And just like puberty, none of us expected that. If someone had told us what was going to happen, that boys' voices would change and they were about to grow facial hair, and girls would get a few extra bumps and lumps, none of us planned for that. But we survived. And sometimes what people love most about the past is that it's over. And the brain and mind is so complex that no one understands all of it. And that's why you can have unexpected reactions or confusion about your feelings, and feel hopeful about the future, and at the same time your hopes may not be realised. But what I do know is you want things to feel better, to be better, and that can happen. When you do things differently, your personal vision can evolve over time, even if you're unsure of it. A vision of the future that's so compelling, it leads you to a set of defined steps where you can easily override any complex and mixed feelings. And I want you to ask your subconscious mind if it can be free of any hopelessness now, worry or doubt, to give, release and let it go. And let it continue on without you. And now if you could ask its permission to not be hopeful or hopeless, but just to be perfect. And now asking your subconscious mind if it can help you with pointing out with what's going right in your life, to notice more things around you that are worth noticing. People smiling, sunsets, the playfulness of people's pets, or something else to help you practice the skills of learned optimism. Because the future hasn't happened yet, but the future's coming. And how your conscious and subconscious mind will shape it are by the choices you'll make, little by little, moment by moment, day by day, piece by piece, planting your seeds today for your future tomorrow, for your ever tomorrows. And I wonder how that feels. Now I want you to consider leaving any aspects of you in that chair that you've matured or grown out of, or ask any to grow into you. And while you're thinking about that, in the hot air balloon now, we can finally have liftoff. And while you're here, you can sort through your 3 gym bags, toss out anything you don't need, take any new perspectives, visions, new soundtracks to your life with you. And from up here in almost the heavens, looking down on your life, 10 years from now into the future. Isn't it wonderful to know how easy it was to achieve liftoff, little by little, moment by moment, piece by piece, you caring for yourself with self-care. And someone wise like Chuck Norris once said, a lot of times people look at the negative side of what they feel they can't do. I always look on the positive side of what I can do. And you know what they say about Chuck Norris. He counted to infinity twice, moment by moment, day by day, decision by decision, And when you're ready to reorient yourself back to your external world, you could stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are.